Hello. Hello. Well, well, well. Look who it is. Well, well, well. Is there anything on your starting soon screen from season 4? No. I haven't done anything in season. What would I even do? From YouTube chat here. Max, I love watching your content, but I don't understand how to treat class changes videos. If I play Blood DK right now and what the changes video, will it make me feel bad about the current video? What? Current version. What are you cooking up? What are you cooking up right now? Max, did you watch any of the Destiny Race World first? Oh no, I'd love to though. I would love to do that. How long did it take for someone to clear? Already over? Yeah, I know it's already over. It ends really fast. I just want to know how long it took. Nearly 19. Holy fuck. That's actually, well, okay, you guys who are not familiar with Destiny maybe are not aware of that, but Destiny Race World first are usually much shorter than that. Easily the hardest raid they've ever made. Yeah, it's sick. I kind of want to watch it. The fourth encounter alone took almost took longer than every other raid race. Dude, good thing our team didn't play. Holy shit. Because we don't have any good gear or weapons, and it would have been really bad. The team who won didn't even stream. Yeah, that seems fine. Guys, I hope you all know that like the streaming of the Race World first in WoW is an extremely unique thing that kind of doesn't even make sense how it even started here. And it'll basically never happen in any other game. Usually. Like it's happened in a few of them, but like the benefits of streaming are far outweighed by the cons, especially in a if Destiny's like really hard, then yeah. What is it? They set up a whole Twitch rivals around it, but none of the teams in it won. Yeah, I mean, if you stream really hard fight, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. Like here, I'll give you an example. Regardless of how the last 6 WoW raids turned out. What were the last 6? So through Vault of the Incarnates, then all the way back through Castle Nathria. Sure. Okay, so since the beginning of Shadowlands, the last 6 raids. If either Echo or us didn't stream and the other team did, the team that didn't stream would have won every single race, and I don't think it would have been close. Like, regardless of who won each of those raids, if either of the teams simply decided not to stream, that team would have fucking stomped the other team. We constantly give away a ton of value to each other, and if there's one team that's able to just leech value from the other and then the other team isn't giving it back, you would have no chance. Is it WoW is unique in that it is really execution based, where most popular MMO raids like D2 are solving a puzzle. Yeah, the puzzle ones hurt you more streaming, but like it still would be massive in WoW. Like I said, if either of our teams just chose to not stream a raid, that team would absolutely win. It wouldn't even be a question. Max, are we doing the draft thing you talked about earlier this week today? No, we're going to do that tomorrow. What is it? Most of the D2 streams had no comms and were either fully covering the game or partially covering game. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it here. Like, what's the so where was the Destiny Race to World First like main channel, like Twitch Rivals? Oh, it was probably on Twitch then, right? Twitch's channel, or does Twitch Rivals have a channel? Looks like it would definitely be Twitch Rivals. Yep, here it is. Destiny 2, the final shape. Meet the participants. Raid race, fire teams of 6 players. Raid's been out for 30 minutes. Okay. And what? So they had... Let me unmute it. So it looks like they do have some in-game comms, right? Of some of the teams.
So when you die, like,
okay, now we have some casters.
Animation, like the whole room seems to change when you die. Like it really darkens. Oh, love. There we go. There's some prismatic. There's some Song of Flame. Love to see it.
Nice recommended channels list.
Playing, like,
dude, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Doing the Asian Bunny X bit where you guys are like, check Asian Bunny X, and then I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, whatever. It's like, now I look like a degenerate, right? Come on. She's on the last phase of the raid right now. I don't believe you, bro.
Coming up soon.
Chat is fact checking me. There's only 11 last wish emblems. I'm sorry, chat. I don't know.
They going through.
So where's the race?
Yeah. Best one with int.
So they did a whole Twitch Rivals thing, but none of the best teams actually won. Or none of the teams that were part of it won. What is it? The team that got world first ran it back with a different 6th player and got 8th too. Oh, cool. The team that won wasn't streaming. Did they release a video of them winning? Can I watch a clear of someone who just cleared it in general, though? There's a YouTube video. Okay, I kind of want to watch it. This is definitely not going to work. Okay. So, Destiny 2 Last Wish, or Final Shape, World First. What's the video called? Links don't work in here. Or what's the raid called? Salvation's Edge? It's a bad game? Yeah, Destiny is an unbelievably bad game. World's first final boss, 70k views 8 hours ago.
Yeah, we need to try and make sure the omens aren't up, because they will suspend you and fuck you up.
You guys have shoot tools on your
There will always be
yes,
one up.
yes,
Yes.
I did get ammo.
Alright, they're hyped, they're hyped. They're fucking hyped right now.
Looking to get special ammo over anything else. We cannot help the final subjugator being alive.
Yeah.
Because it spawns when we shoot the
You
last
just
blip.
gotta try not get suspended, I guess. Not much you can
Left
do.
is sphere, wall is sphere, wall is sphere.
These guys were so far ahead, man. It was crazy. Yep. Not streaming is a hack. Plus, also they own.
Put in the blender. Holy fuck.
Guys, please.
What was hard about the race for anyone who knows what they're talking about? Was it hard because it was really hard to figure out, or was it hard because it was like mechanically insanely difficult, or both? Actually, I'm assuming it's always going to be mechanically difficult, but the puzzle pieces are esoteric as fuck. Yeah, dude, anytime there's any big puzzles involved, not streaming is so fucking insane.
No deaths.
Up arm is triangle. I'm going for wall sphere.
Near Mythic WoW level. I don't like people saying that. I hate when people compare things to Mythic WoW for a few things. Number one, Mythic Gnarlroot is a Mythic boss, so you could technically be correct. And then even if you're referring to the Mythic End boss, there are people who got cutting edge and killed the Mythic End boss, and that boss was an absolute baby mode LFR difficulty compared to killing it in the first week. So, like, unless you've killed a boss in, like, the first week or two, what you're saying about Mythic difficulty isn't even true. You know, because, like, true Mythic difficulty is right away, and, like, when people say that, I usually just assume they haven't experienced that, so I just don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Get it.
Up arm
Down arm
triangle.
is also sphere.
Down arm
I will get
sphere.
down arm sphere.
Okay.
What is it? Destiny 2 raids are kind of the same way. Yeah, I know. I've done these raids in the contest mode window before. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, comparing anything to WoW Mythic, usually someone who's comparing it, their own experience or the experience of the people close to them isn't actually what the true difficulty of WoW Mythic is.
I got up arm.
You are totally out of touch on how the game is played by common people. You know what, chat? On a bad day, I would get one guide by that guy, even though that had nothing to do with what I was just talking about. But I'm a better man today. Let's go. I'm growing. Hashtag growth.
I got down arm.
Look at the subjugator hand to your left. He's one shot.
Subjugator?
Just, you didn't have to do that.
Too late.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, growth with a big W. Let's fucking go.
That down arm is so.
Up arm is square.
Up arm is square.
Up arm is square.
I'll work on
Interesting.
it.
I don't know what down arm is.
All right, let's just guess.
I have
left
wall. Yeah, I
is
have that.
sphere,
I have that.
wall
I have
is
that.
sphere.
Watch out if you're going left.
Oh, that's
there's a lot of
fucking
I got
sick.
up arm.
I have wall.
Okay, I need a third one. I need anything else.
You ready for witness calls?
It was circle. That was
it's
up
circle,
arm.
circle.
Hit circle.
Good to go.
Jump.
Jump.
Nice. Okay, and then it's like a little
I need
a
something.
little
I've got
dance
40
phase.
seconds.
Hey, we just need one glyph, Jake.
So I'll tell you what, this boss fucking looks sick.
I got fucking yoinked by a thing.
You're good. Play your life, Jake.
Dude, we fucking dodged a bullet trying to do
I
this
have
raid.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
I need something.
Dude, we like almost got a group together to this. Me, Shroud, Skadoodle, Wicked, Synced, and Lip. And then like some people backed out at the last second. I started playing the expansion. I'm like, wow, I forgot how fucking dog shit this game is. So I stopped. And then Shroud was like, are we still doing it? And I'm like, no, this game is for idiots. There's no fucking way I can play this dumbass game. And then people were telling us that the raid was really hard, but we didn't really like listen to them because number one, no one's actually even seen the raid yet. And I remember before the last raid we did, people were like, yo, this raid's gonna be really fucking hard. And we're like, okay. And then it came out and it was easy as fuck. So it turns out no one has actually seen this content before, so just everyone's making it up. So like we had no idea if it was hard or easy. But we have dog shit guns, and obviously we barely have any idea how to play the game, so we would probably get farmed by a super hard boss. And yeah, so I'm glad that didn't happen here, because that probably could have easily happened.
Something.
Down
I can just
arm on
refresh.
left
I
is
can refresh my
sphere.
buff.
Okay, you're good.
Oh fuck it, left.
Down arm
Okay,
on left is sphere.
Yeah, I will try to get it.
Okay.
Okay, I have sphere. I'm going for it.
What is it? You guys would have been walled on the second boss, no offense. guys, I don't take offense to that. Maybe some of them would take offense to that. I know better than to think that regardless of how good we think we are as gamers, that we could walk into any game that any of us barely play, don't have any good gear because you need to farm years old meta weapons and shit. Like, we don't know anything about it. We have no knowledge of the game. And like, you would be an absolute fool to think that like your innate game skill is better than the people who like no life play the game. You're just a fucking idiot if you think that about any game, right? So it's not an offense to me to say that we would get farmed by a super hard boss because, you know, none of us are delusional enough to think that we would be, you know, better. Like even like aiming skill and stuff like that, low key doesn't matter in Destiny. Like, yeah, we have a bunch of really good aimers on our team, but like I don't think that matters. Like that's not really how Destiny plays. It's about like strategy, good decisions, you know. I don't think, yeah. Just to answer your question quickly.
Your ads.
He said down arm?
Down arm
Yeah.
on left, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I will get it. I have.
Your ads.
Your
Are you
ads.
ready?
Your
I'll
ads.
tell you what I got walled by. I got walled by the campaign because I was so fucking bored. I aggressively turned the game off and refunded
Your
it.
ads.
There's none.
Hey, we're good on ads. Swap to damage. Play your life, guys. Play your life. I'm starting.
Play your life.
Watch that thing behind.
Watch
This little burn phase, Oh yeah, send it, baby. Let's go. Big damn. Okay,
Play
420.
back, always.
Back,
Weed number.
back in the front. Back in the front.
Move,
Move
front
forward,
right,
move
front
forward.
right, front
Anime
right.
eyes. Anime eyes.
Anime eyes. Jump.
Stay back.
Look for
Always
next-
back
look
if
for
we
next-
don't
look
know.
for next
Always
person
back
to
if we don't know.
Yep. Then
Back
front.
left.
And then we move
now?
forwards.
Front right. Back left. Back left.
Gonna be anime eyes too.
Back right.
Could be
Front
anime.
right,
So like
right.
this is like what a lot of people would consider a burn phase. You stack up, you use your wells, you use your like warlock ults to like do big damn. But like it's also seems like it's extremely. They added like a very intricate dance with a bunch of one shots. It seems to that.
Anime eyes. Anime eyes.
Jump forward.
Out. Out.
Yeah.
Watch out. Right side.
They did like 40%, 45% of self. I bet, just from watching that, I bet that is an insane burn. I bet that's like most people you watch doing that is they probably do like half of that.
Your
Yeah,
life
subjugated
first.
right side.
Get far back and swap. Far back and swap.
Dude, I'm getting just griefed. Help your right side with heal if you can. That's subjugated right
We need
side.
to clear ads. Clear ads.
You should
guys.
exit off the back, Astra, not off the right, just for future.
Yeah, yeah.
We have subjugator on right, guys.
Anime eyes has too many syllables. Yeah, one thing I was noticing when they were actually stacked up for the burn, they have a few people that are calling things, and usually in raid team sizes that are like 6 to 8, or you know, just way less than 20, you usually don't have like a dedicated guy. Like when you have 20 people, it makes a lot of sense to have one, maybe two people call everything, because there's just so much going on that you'd rather have everyone else just focus on them, and you'd rather sacrifice one person's skill. But like in this many people, you can't really have the person sacrifice. Like you need to delegate as much as possible. But I did notice when they were doing their burn that they had two people oftentimes calling the same thing, and that's definitely an inefficiency. Because it's like you could hear comms, it was like giga cluttered, and in reality it sounds like the reaction that you have to do is so fast that waiting to hear someone call it is actually too late, and you wouldn't jump in time and you would die. I could rewind it, but you guys probably remember it when that guy said it's jump, it's jump, it's jump. They were all already jumping, and if they wouldn't have been able to parse that on their own, they would be dead. So in a way like some of those phases are actually easier if you stay silent so people can focus, because you know that calls are actually always going to be too late for the thing. Although I don't know the exact fight, but the fact that they were both double calling it and people were reacting before any of them spoke let me know that I don't think that was probably done the best, but also it doesn't matter. Just like if you were to ask me to critique the way that that was being done, but also what the fuck do I know?
Reading hands. Start reading hands. I'm reading wall. Never mind. I'm reading triangle. Down arm is square. I will get it.
I'll read up arm.
Subjugate him also.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm
Subjugator.
Up arm is
left is
up
dead.
arm.
What do you know about leading anyway? No, I'm being genuine. I wasn't saying that sarcastically. Like, I bet I could give you a full philosophy on how I think comms should be done in a game like this, and then someone who really knows what they're talking about could be like, yeah, logically that makes sense, but it's actually wrong in this game because of this, this, and this, and they would be exactly right. And like, I just don't actually know. Like, I don't actually play the game, so I could definitely be wrong.
Here's triangle.
Up arm
Wall is sphere. Wall is
I'll
sphere.
get spear. I'll get spear.
Okay. I'm trying to work for a triangle.
I need a fucking.
I'm going for spear on wall.
Okay.
Stop
Got
honking,
wall.
YouTube. It's not the
Oh
time
my
for
God,
that.
It changed right at the end. Fuck.
Okay. Up arm is triangle. Got it.
Okay, I
Holy
need a
shit, this
pyramid
looks
if we have
so
one.
insane.
I've got up arm.
So like they have regular mob clear. They have these arms that are doing mechanics that have to be called out by a certain side. There's like up arm, down arm. I'm assuming that means the arm that spawns at the front of the room and then the one that spawns at the back of the room. There might be a right and left. But then it seems when they're calling arms, they also have someone from each group rotating to go in and shoot part of the boss's like vulnerable spots, which I think is you have to shoot all of them to start the vuln phase is what I assume, because there's a bunch of ones lit up and then they stop getting lit up when they're shot. So they're either hitting those to make the arms not kill them, or it's the thing that's spawning the arms, and you have to get through it in a certain amount of time. Plus, there's also ad clear, and you have the ads fucking you the whole time. What is it? Not only that, but they have to soak certain shapes to dunk them. Oh, shit. Oh, there's an even extra layer to it. Okay.
Kayak's right side coming in.
Okay, I got it. It's not. It's circle, 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 circle.
I got hexagon.
Triangle is wall. Triangle is wall.
Where circle is test. Circle is test. Circle is test.
Circle for Bravo. Circle for Bravo.
Bravo has it. It's good to go. I got Glyph Keeper.
Ready to jump.
Ready to jump. Jump.
Jump.
There's more than enough time there. You'll see what I'm talking about when they get to the middle.
I'm
I
gonna
need a
read up on-
pyramid if we can find one. Oh wait, I have glyph. Never mind. I'm good. I'm good. We need.
Up
three
arm
more,
square.
three more.
Up arm square.
All right, I want to watch
Two
the next burn.
subjugators, guys, two
When's the next burn?
subjugators.
Focus them.
Next burn
no,
is
no,
now.
slot.
About to be right
Go
now.
to middle now. Go to middle now.
Okay. Swap to damage. Go
Okay.
to middle. Swap to damage. Go to middle.
You need to keep Tyrus
What does
alive.
swap to
You need get rid
damage
of it.
mean?
Get out of
Watch
the
the
circle.
square
Get out of the
square
triangle.
in the
Oh,
square
they're
in the
literally
triangle.
swapping. Okay.
Shoot him. You're good.
Watch out.
You ready? Everyone
All right.
start.
Back at the plate.
Start in the
Always,
back,
guys.
start in the
Back
back.
at the plate is always the start. Back left.
We're going front. We're going front.
Front
Now we're
right.
going front.
Front right. Back left.
Oh, they're melting.
And we're gonna have
this
to
boss.
jump here probably.
Not yet. Anime eyes coming
Right
soon.
left.
Anime eyes coming soon. Go back right. Go back right.
Jump back.
Back right. Back right. Back
It was
right.
it was jump back, right? Yeah.
Do we push or not?
I think we should not. We have a ton of residents. We should not push here.
No. We do not.
Oh,
push.
Hunter
front
does the
left, front left.
reload
Front
dash
left.
thing.
Front
That's why it's so good.
Anime eyes. Jump.
Jump
Right.
forward. Jump forward.
How did no one die
How
to
did that
that?
kill me?
Oh,
okay.
he
Don't
did.
rest them. Don't
We
rest
should
them.
cut
Wait
damage
until
here. We should not risk
No,
any more deaths.
leave.
Straight back, straight backwards.
Out, out,
straight
out,
back,
out.
straight backwards. Bravo.
We can res them after.
Swap loadouts. Swap loadouts.
Build
With
swaps
the
mid fight
subjugator on
are
him first.
cancer.
Somebody-
I
Focus the
Wait,
shit
well-
on left. We need to get the res.
So I enjoyed
Who can
build
get this res? I
swapping.
can't. Watch
I
the
can
right
get it,
screens.
I can get it.
I enjoyed build swapping in Legion, but that wasn't mid fight.
I'm gonna start.
It was
reading.
like in
right
between
side of the
We have to
fights.
start reading. We have to
Oh,
start
guard of the
reading.
It's a
hand.
little different here, although they are
Yes, you
kind
need-
of
you need to go
technically
fast.
going
Wall
in
is
between
fear.
pulls.
Wall is fear.
We need help on
Also,
subjugator right.
in Legion, you did it with a macro.
Wall
These
is
guys
fear.
literally tab out to do it.
Up
Well, they
hand on
don't
left
tab out of the game,
is
but they like tab out of
square.
combat.
I have triangle, but that's not gonna help me. I'll get square right now. I'm getting square right now.
Yeah.
Slow on your right.
I will go
probably
for
by
left
the stairs.
I'm getting up arm.
I'm grabbing
on
spear
the ledge,
buff
on the
right
ledge.
I
now.
also have sphere.
I'm getting fucked.
Somebody res
Love that.
him.
Love getting
Fuck you
fucked.
guys.
Taking
we cannot
res.
die here.
As we got in.
Come on.
That was
It's square, square,
Yep,
square.
yep.
It's
Heard that.
square.
Heard that.
Kill subjugate
Everyone
on
else
right,
go
please,
right.
if we have a chance.
Focus ads, guys. We need to help Tyrax on right.
Square is
Watch
ready.
the square. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle.
You ready for wipe?
You ready to jump? Jump.
No. Jump now. Jump. Watch those
Need to kill that
crystals. Get
omen.
away from those. Get away from those.
Guys,
Yeah.
we need 5 glyphs still. We need 5
Astra has a glyph.
Okay, we need 4.
I
We
have.
gotta go quick. We
Wait
need to
for-
go fast here.
Start reading.
Oh, so when you dunk the
Pixels out
thing,
of
you
that?
can shoot the thing. Okay, that's what it is.
Circle. Up
You
arm
go
left,
to the
up
thing
arm
to
left
dunk
is
the
square.
shape you did,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
that allows you, I think, or anyone to shoot the
will go
shoot
for up arm.
part of him that starts to burn when
Dude,
you
there's
do
literally
enough.
no
of them.
buffs.
I got glyph breaker.
You also missed them doing the totem mechanic.
I have Hex times
Bro.
2 if we need it.
I probably missed them doing like 100 mechanics. This is like watching this for the first time is extremely fucking extremely overwhelming.
We need to start reading shit.
You gotta really try not to get.
Let's
hit by
up
that
arm
shit,
on left.
Rick.
I know, I know.
I'm getting it.
Plenty
I'm
of
getting
time.
It's
Plenty
square
of
on left.
time, guys.
Square on
Plenty
left.
of
Yeah,
time.
I know. I was gonna get it.
I have triangle. Anywhere for triangle or no?
No.
Look in.
Would you be down? I wish the race
in.
could
I
be
got it, I got
blind.
one.
Or would you rather do the race blind?
Square.
What do you mean?
Square up arm left.
We do like
Subjugator on left needs to
almost
die.
all of the
Shadow,
race
probably
blind
help.
every raid. Like we
need
usually
2
do the
more
whole
glyphs
race,
total.
and then sometimes we get like maybe a mechanic
I
from
have
Echo on
one,
the
I
last
have
boss
We
or
need one
something.
more
One more.
glyph.
Slow it down. We have time. Slow
You
it
mean
down. we
like
have
no
time.
dungeon journal?
Clear life.
Subjugator left is
Slow it
dead.
down.
I mean, that'd be
slow it
fine.
down.
I mean, we do 70% of the race seeing it for the first time anyway when it comes out.
Healing, can I get a healing grenade middle?
Yeah, that'd be sweet though. I don't think it would add
We
much
need
time
one
to
more
it though.
glyph.
One glyph. We need
Another
one glyph.
subjugator left.
I got it. I got it.
Left up arm is
Hey, we have
triangle.
last
green
glyph. Clear
subjugator.
ads. clear
Am has
ads,
it.
clear
Kill
ads.
everything. Subjugator to the right
I
and
need
left.
special ammo.
Get ammo so you don't need shoot to
No
loot.
Hold on, let me
screens,
finish
yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I can finish it for you. I have special.
Get ammo now so you don't need shoot to loot, guys.
Everybody ammo now. Everybody ammo. Swap loadouts. Swap loadouts.
There's a guy on right side. Do we want to kill
Subjugator
him?
right,
Can we burn this guy
subjugator
together?
right. 45 seconds.
Yes, yes,
Can't
46
be
seconds.
We have
feeling
time. Kill
Does
him.
anyone
We
have
time.
leftover
Everybody shoot this
residents?
guy.
Does anyone have leftover residents?
Yes, I have 3.
How many?
What's your timer?
Time.
40 seconds.
Okay, we're fine.
We're
Dude,
good,
they're
we're
so
good.
hyped. They're so
Go.
hyped.
Head middle. Kill
Swap
that
off
on the right,
LMGs.
quick, get
Swap off
suspended.
LMGs if we're on him. Swap to something else, like GL or whatever. I don't care.
LFR, just LFR or whatever.
Get ready. We're starting. We're starting.
No celestials.
Do not,
Play
no
your life.
super, no
Back
supers,
Back of the
no
plate
supers.
first. Back of the plate first.
Back of the plate.
Front, right, front right.
Front right.
Back to left, back to
You're
left.
Jump left.
There, jump.
Front right. Res if we can.
See, the
I cannot
jump is
res.
actually too
Final
late of a
coming?
call.
Okay, it's
Final
final.
res.
It's final.
Call
It's
damage, call
Somebody
damage.
res.
Call damage is up.
Somebody res. It's when his
Dun,
chest is
dun.
glowing. It's
I'll
up.
tell you. It's up.
Up
Go,
now,
go,
up
go.
now.
Watch for the,
Still dodge,
watch
guys.
for the
Back
stuff.
of the plate. Back of the plate.
Front left.
Left.
Back right.
Back
Holy
right,
fuck,
back
they're
right.
juicing this boss.
Wait. Focus. Look for mechanics. Focus.
Dude, true, this is like Ben.
No, that motherfucker.
This is
I
what
don't
Ben
care,
would
I
say.
do not
This is what
care.
Ben would say.
Focus.
Dude, shout out us killing Nazoth, and all of us are freaking out, and Ben seeing his computer because he thought there might be another phase.
Focus.
And listen.
Subjugator behind.
Nah, the boss is over.
Relax, is that us?
Stop.
Shut up.
Stop.
We're not done yet, bro. Shut the fuck up.
We got permission.
You're
we got
done, man.
permission.
It's fine. You killed it.
Mission complete. We need chest. We need to get chest. We need to loot chest. We need to loot chest.
All right, yo, hey,
we're good, we're
hey,
good.
Alright, Lucha.
big
Loot
dog.
chest. They called it.
Hey.
We need to loot chest.
Leave, that's
Let's
first.
go, bro.
Witness on me.
Let's go.
Loot the chest.
Can we
Loot
start
the
mission? I'm starting mission, I
chest.
guess.
What was that, guy? What was that, guys? An 8-hour run?
Bro, you guys already won.
Over.
You're
We're
good.
done.
They call me Kaplan, guys. They call me Kaplan.
Do we want to do this
They
mission
call
or
me
not? Do we want to
Kaplan.
do this mission
They
or
call
not?
me fucking Kaplan.
No, just leave. Just leave.
I'm taking to orbit. I'm taking
Dude, guys, come on. You guys are ruining this moment. You'll remember this moment forever. You gotta just fucking scream like an idiot, man. You guys already won. You're chilling.
us to orbit. I'm taking us to orbit.
Wow, we just fucking clutched.
Come on, there's 10 seconds left. Please tell me they enjoy themselves here.
I'm taking it to orbit. Shut up. Everyone just shut up. Shut up. Are we sure?
Yes.
Yes, there's no one
Cutscene.
Oh my god.
All right, well, hopefully they had fun after that. Dude, they have an anti-hype guy in their team. Holy shit. Imagine you killed the boss faster, but another team looted the chest first. Maybe. On a boss like that, it's really hard and they know how well they played. I bet you know that you like, how long was it until someone killed the boss after that? Six hours? Yeah, guys, they were vibing. Max, they're Destiny players. Being miserable the whole time you play just goes with the territory. Source, in parentheses, I am a Destiny player. Yeah, that game's tough. That's a tough game to play for sure. What is it? Scripe and the gang are trying to clear right now? Fuck yeah. Well, that was a good click slurp. See you next stream. Bro, I've been live for like almost no time. I'm fine. I'm chilling. I have like a couple hockey games later. I'll hang out for a little bit. I'm sure there's some stuff to do. You know. When does Doggo remove cone? Dude, Ella's in such a good mood. She has been... Her bandage finally fell off. They told me that when we took her home that like her bandage would fall off in like 3 to 5 days. It took like a week for it to fall off. So I finally got a chance to look at her incision. And yo, I will say... So that surgery was obscenely expensive. And I'm sure a lot of that was due to it being a nicer surgery place and also being in California. But bro, that fucking incision is so fucking OP. Like, bro, that bandage came off and I was expecting some massive fucking... Bro, you can barely see that she had surgery like 6 days later. Insane. I couldn't believe it. So shout out to them for that. Stitch her up good. Bro, I'm serious. It looks like... It doesn't even look like she had surgery at all. And she has, like, all of her energy back. She's, like, back to being a regular doggo. Who do you got in the Cup Finals? So I hope Edmonton wins. Just because I think McDavid is insane. And I don't care. By the way, I don't give a fuck about Edmonton or the Panthers, just making that clear. I don't care about really any team, but McDavid's a fucking beast, and I hope he gets his first cup. But Florida's definitely better than them, so so who knows? But hockey's weird. Sometimes, like I think if they play a lot of the series 5-on-5, I think the Panthers will win. But if there's a lot of penalties, I could see the Oilers actually winning the series. Oilers have like the best penalty kill and the best power play in the league. So if the game is being called like that, then it'll probably trend towards them. Any NBA finals takes? Yeah, I think the Celtics are going to win in like 5 or 6. As much as I'd like all Boston sports fans to feel pain and misery just because they're obnoxious, the Celtics are a way better team. Dude, honestly, I think the Celtics would have won without Porzingis. And with Porzingis, I don't even think it's close. But that being said, I hope Luka wins, but I also don't think he will. That's all though. Guys, we have some good shit for tomorrow. So one of Frank's guildmates, I think, or friends, somebody, linked an idea for a build-a-raid snake draft concept. All right. I don't know how many people we're gonna have. We may cut it off at Legion. We may also include WAD, but the idea is there are 8 rounds. You need to have bosses from each one of these criteria. You can only have 1 end boss. You need 2 late tier bosses. You need 3 mid tier and 2 early. And it's a snake draft, so it'll be interesting to see if people try to get their end bosses early. See if people think there's actually a limited amount of great late tier bosses. And you get to see where so there's going to be 8 rounds, right? Like, are you going to pick your end boss like after round 3? That would be crazy, right? So like you probably get a lot of those out of the way. I think I think it should be really fun. Only snake bosses? That's not what snake draft means. So this will be what we're doing. I think it's tomorrow. We haven't gotten... I don't know how many players we could have. I think you could have a lot. Like, here, let's do this. How many good bosses... Basically, how many bosses are there from Legion until now could you pick before people start picking stinkers? Max, can I get a link to that sheet? Yeah, I got you. I'll just fucking put it in chat so you can make your own copy, I guess. Or no, I'll DM it to you. I sent it to you. I Twitch whispered you. What's a snake draft? It's really simple. It's just here's the order of picks, right? So like a regular draft is you like go first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth pick, fifth pick, sixth pick, and then you go back to the first pick, right? This is usually what happens in a lot of like sports leagues, right? Because like the lower ranked teams get like the top picks. Maybe there's a lottery, maybe there isn't. But then at the start of the second round, it goes back to the first pick. A snake draft just means it repeats backwards. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it would be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it just keeps going like that. So the reason you do the draft like this is so whoever's picking later due to RNG isn't completely fucked. It just makes it more fair. We thought about doing an auction style draft, which would be really interesting actually. We just figured that Dorky would never be able to figure out how it works, and that would be too much of a distraction, and it would take a lot longer. And we have what else? We do... What is it? First pick up Denathrius, #1 overall by a mile. Since Legion, all end bosses? I think Denathrius does clear every end boss. If you're capping it at Legion. The question is if you need to cap it at Legion. And then I'll let you guys know what we're doing the week after. So what we're doing the week after is we're going to bring, I think, 4 or 5 people on, and we're going to do another snake draft, but we're going to draft a Mythic Plus comp. Okay, so do you send your early pick on like a strong DPS class, or do you grab Vengeance, right? How low are the keys, right? If the keys, if the key level is only like an 8 or something, like, do you actually want to spend a top pick on a tank? You could just get any good player on any tank, and you're chilling, right? So, there's a lot of stuff like that. And then the reason why the key level matters is we're going to draft a Mythic Plus comp, right? There's 39 specs, so at the most we could only have... I mean, you can only have 6 because there's only 6 tanks and healers, right? So it would be capped at 6 people. And then after you do the draft, you log on retail, and we set up 6 groups in the group finder. Team Max, Team Dratnos, Team Dorky, whatever. And you guys are actually going to sign up, and we're all going to have you complete the exact same key on the exact same level and see which comp completes it the fastest to determine the winner. It's gonna fucking bang. How will you organize to have the right keys for the right groups? I don't know. We'll probably just make the groups and just see if there's a key in common with every group, and then we'll deplete it to the same level to go. What if someone picks 2 tanks just to fuck someone else over? I mean, so the obvious answer to that is we could just make rules to where you can't pick more than 1 tank or healer. But if we don't do that, that would be pretty fucking hilarious. If someone sees that, like, let's say Growl and Dorky are both doing it, and Growl hates Dorky that day. So he sees that Dorky's waiting to his last round to draft a healer, and he just like picks the 6th healer, and Dorky has to no heal his key. But then like that ends up being, well, that could be fine, except if you've picked your first 4 classes without considering the fact that you would be 4 healing, that might be a really, or without considering the fact you'd be 4 DPSing, that might actually be a really bad comp, right? Like not all no healer comps are built the same. They kind of rely on a few things to make that happen. So I guess the question is, so let's just go back through Legion. So we need to see how many bosses are in each pool. So let me just do this on my notepad real quick. So end bosses, this is the concept of Legion through now. How many total end bosses have there been from Legion until now? So what you're saying is push that last bit of rating this week to get picked. Guys, and you know what's also going to be really fun is you guys who like have been sticking to non-meta classes, like you guys who are just pushing on Prot Warrior right now. Like, bro, one of the teams is going to have to pick a Prot Warrior and you can show off, you know? You can be a Prot Warrior, but you could be way better than like the whatever other class is picked by someone else, and that team could have an advantage. Be sick. Not all players are built the same. Did he just log on to Rizzy Glizzy? Bro, all I'm going to do is look at the dungeon journal. But shout out Rizzy, though. Alright, so since Legion, there has been... I guess you have to count Emerald Nightmare, right? So, how many end bosses has there been? Xavius. Helia. Gul'dan. KJ. Argus. Gahoon. Jaina. Ashara. N'Zoth. Razageth. Sarkareth. That doesn't look like how you'd spell Sarkareth, but I'm not changing it. And Fyrak. Oh, and Unet. Forgot about Unet. I will say... Okay, so how many good bosses are on here? Xavius actually was a good boss. It was just too easy. But actually, no, we probably need to make 2 lists. It's like... Because, like, realistically, what we want to do is with the amount of drafters, we just want to make sure that people aren't actually picking the stinkers. I don't know. Actually, stinkers existing within the pool actually makes it so doing early picks in certain categories really helps you. Shadowlands fake confirmed? Huh? Oh, did I just skip Shadowlands? Oh, I did. Woohoo! Yeah, yes, it just never happened. Denathrius, Sylvanas, and Jailer. Like, for example, picking Unat. Like, bro, if you're picking Unat as your end boss, you immediately lose. Some people glorify this fight because they think it's the hardest fight of all time because of its pull count. But Unat's not even a good boss. Like, Unat was just hard. And really overtuned and needed to be nerfed like 5 times. Unat's not a great fight. Like, if you guys did... A lot of you guys didn't do Unat. You would not have had fun doing Unat. So, like, how many good bosses are there to pick here? Let's see. Helia's really good. Gul'dan's good. 1, 2. Kill Jaden. Depends on when you killed it, but I think Kill Jaden generally good. 3. Argus is good. 4. Gahoon, pretty good. 5. Jaina, 6. Unat, not great. Ashara, bad. N'Zoth's fine. Denathrius, really good. Sylvanas, not good. Jailer. What is the common opinion of Jailer? So Jailer was obviously really difficult, but, like, do people like Jailer as a fight? Like, you guys are like, I fucking think Jailer's sick. Like, Jailer's a great boss. Bald, boring fight, mid boss, mid to bad. Liked Jailer, meh, no, bald, 6 out of 10. Okay, so it's like mid. Okay. Razageth. Very bad Mythic. Sarkareth, good and short. Fyrak. Fyrak is so fucking interesting. Like, Dradnos voted it as, I think, his favorite boss of this expansion, but then he spent 5 minutes defending how he understands that P1, the P1 intermission, P2 are all really bad, but P3 is so good enough that it makes up and makes it the best boss of the expansion, which is crazy. That one phase in his mind could carry it that much. Okay. I thought Raz was regarded as a banger. Razageth is a fucking turbo stinker Mythic fight. It's like 5 minutes too long for no reason. It gets easier as you go on. The hardest part is P1, and then it linearly goes down in difficulty as the fight goes off. And there were even guilds to like one-shot the last phase. That's a super stinker. Crazy good and heroic, though. Really, really bad Mythic fight. This is definitely going to be talking about Mythic. I actually liked Razzie, except for second intermission. There is one part of Razageth I really enjoy. P2. I think P2 Razageth is, like, fucking crazy good. Like, really good, actually. Okay, so how many... There's, like, easily more than enough bosses here. The question is, do you even... If you're gonna... So you could do multiple of these, right? You could do a mop through Legion, and then you could do a BFA through Now. They're each 3 expansion sets. I'm pretty sure you'd want to remove Legion from this, because I think there's still more than enough good bosses. And it kind of dips into some average ones as the closer you get to 6. And that actually makes picking an end boss interesting. Like, for example, if there's 6, like, really fucking good end bosses, it kind of makes sense to, like, pick your end boss last. You know? Because, like, let's say you get the worst of the 6 end bosses, you're going to spend your high picks on bosses in parts of the raid that are a lot harder to fill. That being said, there would be some that carried. Like, if you were the person who got to pick Denathrius on this list, or Fyrak, I guess, that would carry pretty hard. Or Gul'dan, if you were including Legion, for sure. How do we decide a winner? A good question. I don't think the winner part is important. Like, what's kind of fun is the process and speaking about the fights. But part of what makes draft interesting is trying to make a better raid than other people. But at the end of the day, it's all subjective. You could do a chat poll. I'm thinking of doing Twitter polls from now on, because I think chat polls are definitely, like, little fake news. I think Twitter polls are going to be better from, like, the Potty C Twitter or something. Straw poll? Bro, I haven't heard someone say straw poll in a long time. But that used to be the thing. What is it? Twitter would be way worse having no context and completely different participants. Yeah, I think what a lot of the Twitch polls have been so far have been voting for and against people based on who they are and not what the lists are. So I think you'd want to put it on Twitter and put the lists of bosses out and not a name attached, as to get a better result. I feel like deciding a winner is almost missing the point a bit. I think putting a winner to a vote is certainly fine. It is not the main point. That would be like thinking that the point of it is to see who wins is kind of like watching one of my pre-patch tier list videos where I bring a bunch of people on to talk about their class in the upcoming patch, but then watching that to see the tier list ranking instead of watching it to hear the people talk about the class you want to play, which is what the entire content is, and the other thing doesn't matter at all. Max, type your answers in Discord and talk about them without revealing the owner of the pick. Nope, that would make the content infinitely worse. That would you would be nuking 95% of the content to have the pick of the winner be more genuine, which is something that doesn't matter. That would be terrible. Are we doing the raid journal thing today? Nope. What is it? It would be cool if Blizzard did something like this, where they put together a raid that's just fully made of using the best of the best raid bosses, like just teleporting you to different, like a boss rush kind of thing, or like an anniversary event, something where it's like they made a Giga raid and they just added a bunch of like sick bosses. I think Dratnos and I did that concept on YouTube one time. We definitely did. Yeah, I can probably just search for it. Maximum best WoW raid. It's got to show up. There it is. Making the best WoW raid of all time. All right, here's what we came up with. So, Ursoc is the first boss into... Actually, I think there might even be another first boss. But Ursoc from Emerald Nightmare into Throne of Thunder Council, into Opulence, into a choice between Operator Thogar and Ashvane, into Painsmith, into Siegecrafter, a choice of Sludgefist or Siegecrafter Blackfuse, into Halandris, into... I think that's Fallen Avatar. I don't remember what we put at the end. Oh, looks like Lei Shen, which is definitely fair. Yeah, that's all he did. What is it? If they did that, bosses would be nerfed to the ground like in every anniversary event? Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, can you imagine an anniversary event where they brought back all these really cool bosses, but they made them take forever to progress? Wouldn't that be kind of missing the point? A boss doesn't have to take forever to kill to be a cool experience. Or maybe another way to say that is what made those bosses great didn't have anything to do with how long it took to beat them. To some extent. I mean, if you one-shot them, would they end up on that list? No. So, who knows? How many, like, I actually realize I don't want to do this, but, like, how many, like, late tier bosses would be good from Legion till now? Botanist was good, Staraugur was good, and Elisand was good. I'm assuming those would all qualify as late tier. Cenarius was really good. Odin and Guarm were both really good. Be interesting to see how you would classify those, because it was a 3-boss raid. But Odin was significantly harder than most first bosses. It's probably a mid-raid, not a late tier. I don't think Guarm or Odin were either late tier. These were both mid-tier bosses into an end. Tomb. Maybe Maiden, but Fallen Avatar for sure. Ooh, a few in Antorus. Agrimar, Kingaroth. Kingaroth's more mid, but Agrimar probably. Not Coven. Coven's not a good fight. BFA, late tier fights. Mithrax for sure, not Zool. Nothing in Battle of Desire lore. You could argue High Tinker Mechatork. For me, it just died too fast. It died in 13 pulls, 15 pulls, something like that. So you didn't really have a chance to appreciate it. Not a bad boss, though. Crucible. You could definitely put Restless Cabal in, like, mid to late tier. I don't know exactly where it would go. I don't get the Dazar lore hate. Easily my favorite rated BFA. Is there a lot of Dazar lore hate? Jaina was a great end boss. Megatork was like a pretty... I mean, I think the issue with Dazar lore for top-end players was that it was just too easy. Like, you just got to Jaina on day one. It's like, no matter how cool a lot of these fights were, you just didn't do them. But I do agree with you that, like, I think the raid was really cool. But it's really... And it's not just a... It's not like an elitist opinion, like, oh, that boss was too easy, so I can't appreciate it. Like, it's genuinely hard to appreciate something you walk in one shot. Right? It's hard. Or kill extremely fast. Like, there's also bosses that it's hard to appreciate if it took too long to kill them. You definitely see this with people's tendrils opinions. But killing stuff really fast. Same thing with Firelands, right? Like, Firelands is probably one of the most creative raids of all time. But, like, even back in the day, you absolutely fucking stomped these bosses that weren't rag. You just stomped these fights. They were just done. They instantly cleared. Even though they were really cool. Max, do you think you would ever make a class guide with rotations and stuff? Fuck no. Definitely not. No fucking way. Oh, thanks for the raid, big dog. Mr. Jack. Doesn't even thank... Bro. Come on, man. I'm a little out of it today. Just a quick little one, you know? Is there a pull threshold where you start appreciating the boss? You mean me personally or most people? Like, I don't know. Like, it probably depends on the person. But, like, I think for most people, like, it'd be really surprising to me if you killed a boss in less than 5 pulls and would be willing to be like, oh my god, that boss was so good. Because, like, you just don't even think about it enough to really appreciate it. But then again, yeah, so there is, like, a sweet spot of pulls, and it probably depends on the person. Like, Growl has said, like, I enjoy raid fights. I really enjoy bosses. I don't enjoy any bosses where you pull them more than 100 times, right? So I guess Growl's sweet spot is, like, a really hard boss that's, like, less than 100 pulls. So, like, Rashok, I guess. Right? Well, Rashok is way less than that. I think Echo killed Rashok in, like, 3 pulls or something. But I think most people killed Rashok a lot less. Dude, I was surprised to learn how many pulls Smolderon took people. Smolderon took, like, a very... I think, like, 50-something pulls for us. And that was with 13 pulls trying to gateway tornadoes. Where we, like, weren't even really pulling. We were just testing tech. So it was, like, 40 pulls. But I looked at WoW metrics or statistics or whatever, and Smolderon just died in 170. It was like average 150 to 200 or something for Smolderon kills over the whole patch, which is fucking crazy. I guess that's just because Smolderon never really got any easier gear-wise. So, like, the longer the patch goes on, you just have less skilled guilds pulling the fight with no more gear than the better guilds had. I'm telling you, man, that is what happened this patch more than anything else. It needs to be said. Like, bosses have been this difficult before, but what happened this raid more than any other raid was the amount of pulls that happened on fights after the world first kill. So, like, world first kill was here, and, like, repeat kills are way higher on almost everything. And that's indicative of the fact that people didn't gain enough power after the first guilds. Usually in raids, the average pull count for bosses stays about the same as the world first kill time, because as the patch goes on, you get more and more power, and you get way more gear, and the pulls get reduced because you just overpower things. And that didn't really happen this patch. We killed the hardest bosses at 280 or 482 eye level or something. The problem is we got all the gear way too fast this time, and there was no character progression after a couple weeks. Well, that was actually how it was in Season 2. They made it a little bit better this time. Not as much of an upgrade, yeah. Like, I would say, like, the Tuesday raid eye level power jump would exist for a while. The Tuesday raid eye level jump would exist for... I don't know, what, like, couple months in the past before the crest system. And now that power spike is smaller and it stops being effective earlier in the patch. But you get your gear faster. There's a lot of people who definitely like the getting your gear faster thing. You just have to kind of approach the tuning of raids differently. What is it? I think having to run macros is a big turnoff for player. Once you tell players they need to run a macro to do an ability, there's a natural detraction to wanting to progress that boss. What are you talking about? Do you mean like private auras? I mean, yeah, private auras suck. No one's going to argue against that. I don't think that had much to do with it, though. Like, that wiped people a lot in P1 of Firac, but even after they've made it not a private aura anymore, people still die to P1 intermission a lot. But yeah, no one likes that, for sure. And they're doubling down on it, too. Kind of sad. Max, wasn't KJ Mythic Giga hard because of the dark phase? Everything about KJ was really hard. It was just a hard fight. Max, don't you think Gnarl Root dropping the same eye level as Tindril is downright insane? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So, like, before in a patch... But I think there's good parts of that, too. So, like, before in a patch, if you looted... Before upgrade systems, right? So, I guess you could just go to Vault of the Incarnates. Like, the best gear in the game... No, not Awakened. Don't show me Awakened. Oh, it's going to be Awakened, isn't it? Okay, we'll go to a previous expansion. But then the eye levels aren't going to be relatable. But... Okay, let's just crash my game or something. Okay, so if you see, like, gear from... Kel'Thuzad, the gear's 246, and gear from Terragru is 239. And that never changed. So it just gave permanent value to items off of other bosses and made them always better. But then the upgrade system made it so outside of, I think, very rare items off of the last boss, I think everything will end up being the same eye level with crests. Even items off the first boss. But I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. I can see someone not liking it, but I think the benefits of that outweigh the negatives. Because then it means everything in the raid actually matters. And it also is way better for Mythic Plus players, right? Because Mythic Plus players could never actually get those later Mythic things, so they were just permanently lower geared. And now Mythic Plus players can have the same gear as everyone. But I'm sure they probably still find a way to complain about it. Max, weird take, but do you believe if they got rid of raid buffs for Mythic Plus dungeons that they would be too much? I believe raid buffs should be a raid-only thing. Yeah, I think purely gameplay-wise, I would agree with you. I think where Blizzard's going to stop short of that is they want a Druid to have Mark of the Wild, because Druids have always had Mark of the Wild, and it's part of their lore and fantasy, and if some classic player logs in and is on their Druid, and they're like, where's Mark of the Wild? That sucks. I miss when I used to do this, and that was fun. And nostalgia's a hell of a drug, right? So they want to feed off that. So, yeah, I don't know. The reason that it works in dungeons is they don't want you to like press Mark of the Wild out in the world and then out in raid and then get into a dungeon and be like, oh wait, my Mark of the Wild just doesn't work now. I want to buff my party members. Right? If you're sitting here and you're just like, hey, raid buffs existing kind of lock a certain Mythic Plus comp because of the strength of certain ones of them. And you're right. Or at least it gives classes a lot of extra value. Like, is there a world where all druid specs are so bad that you don't run Mark of the Wild in a key? Absolutely. That's absolutely true. If you think that's not true, I think you're like little... You just don't understand that damage is king. Healing is king. Or like stuff like that. Mark of the Wild's a great buff, but if same thing with Priest, dude. If Holy, Disc, and Shadow were all turbo stinky, you'd find a way to do dungeons without Fort. Right? It's just that the classes are good, and it's unlikely that all three of them would be bad, and the buff is extremely good. And I think raid buffs more than anything else are also, in dungeons, are also a casualty of keys scaling incorrectly. I've talked about this before, but keys currently scale 10% mob damage and 10% mob health per key, linearly. Well, actually, it's not. I guess it's linear per level, but I guess technically exponentially because it like scales off of itself. But, and that just doesn't make sense, right? Like, so when you're scaling up the mob health of a key, what you're doing is increasing the time it takes to complete it. Okay? When you're scaling up the mob damage of the key, you are scaling up the danger of things and how quickly things start one-shotting you and, you know, trying to kill your character. So them scaling at the same rate means that Blizzard thinks that those two things... difficulty, like the difficulty that each one of them causes, the difficulty to time the key and the difficulty to stay alive, actually scale at the same rate, but they definitely do not. Keys reach a point of being unable to be timed because of living and only living well before the difficulty of just timing the key is the issue, right? So, like, if you were worried just as much about staying alive as you were actually timing the key at an earlier key level, you wouldn't see people playing AUG or feeling like they have to play AUG. Maybe you would, but right now you do because for most of the keys, you just have to live to the end and you time it. And AUGs are really, really good at that. You could argue too good at that. I would argue that. It just scales wrong. So they need to change the way that scales. But also, I don't know if they will, because... when Blizzard cares about Mythic Plus, I think they're caring about Mythic Plus. 95% of it ends at a old 20, what would be a new 10. Wherever you get the portals, which would be a 10 now, right? And that's also like the highest gear you get from doing any Mythic Plus. So that's the scaling they care about. I'm going to make a number up, but I'm pretty sure it's right. I think 99% of Mythic Plusers... so 99% of people who ever do Mythic Plus keys stop at that, because that's when the rewards stop. Like you get like the patch aspirational goal of the portals, and you get to the level that drops the best gear. The only reason to go above that is to like get title. That's it. And that is something that is done by less than 1% of people who participate in Mythic Plus. So there's no... so for Blizzard, if you think about it, like, who do they really care about balancing Mythic Plus for? When people say, like, the top 1%, and I mean, in Mythic Plus's case, it is literally the top 1%, maybe even less, of people that are... I know 0.1% get the title, but I think there's room after 10s and before titles that includes people that still do Mythic Plus. Like, for example, are there people that do a bunch of 13s and 14s every season that the Dungeon Finder is filled with people doing 23s and 24s, what used to be now are 13s and 14s, and those people don't get title, but they like doing Mythic Plus. They like pushing themselves. They're not quite at title range, but they like doing Mythic Plus with their friends or with other people, and they like pushing up their IO score, right? They like playing the game. So that's why I lengthened it to larger than 0.1%. I think at least 1% of the game like does Mythic Plus above a 20 for the sake of getting score, but it's an extremely small amount of players, even in just the Mythic Plus area. So when you think about the way keys scale, do keys scale incorrectly enough to alter your game experience in a negative way if you're just considering it going up to 10s? Not really. 10s are, I mean, for people who are good at the game, really fucking easy. And for people who don't take the game as seriously, they're an aspirational goal that still feels challenging and feels good to them to complete. So there's not really much reason to change the key scaling. Right? That's something that only affects you when you get above 15s, closer to 20s, as far as like one-shots are happening before you're scared about timing the key. That's why it's not a big, it's not of interest to them. Do you think that if they changed the damage income to stop at 20, that would be beneficial for Mythic Plus? I don't know. Well, by 20, do you mean, I'm assuming you haven't played Season 4 like me. You mean a 10? So, like, basically, the damage intake stops at a 10 or something. And then, you can still do keys higher than that, but things don't scale at the same rate. And it's more about, I mean, I think 10, yeah, 10 is probably a little too low because, like, it's just way too easy and the mobs have, like, no HP. I don't know exactly what it should be, and I don't even know if this would actually end up being the best thing, which is why I'm kind of sad they didn't try this in Season 4. But I do think that if they did, like, a little experimental season, maybe not even a full season, man. Like, I actually think there's room to experiment in Mythic Plus, like, before the season's actually over. You know, like, seasons are sometimes, like, 5 or 6 months long. Bro, do, like, a little mini-season at the end. It doesn't even have to take away from regular keys. Like, you can just sign up for it, and it's like, okay, this is, like, Mythic Plus speedrun season, and keys stop scaling at a 13, and you can still go higher than 13, but the mob, health and damage isn't going to increase, and you can just see how and the only thing is the timer gets shorter and shorter, so you can see how fast you can complete these keys. Again, this is, if you wonder why they wouldn't do something like this, they're basically making this content for a very, 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 very small amount of players. But yeah, I think it would be interesting, man. It would, yeah, I mean, I would do that. It sounds fun as fuck. Dealing with high damage is part of Mythic Plus. Yes and no. So, doing high Mythic Plus and dealing with really high damage intake is part of a lot of the fun. Like, for example, if you did a key level where it stopped scaling, where it was like, you didn't even have to press a defense of the whole key and it was still super easy, that would not be very fun content, right? But I think there's a sweet spot above that, and then there's another spot above that that isn't fun. Like, when key levels scale to the point defensively where you're only realistically killing them regardless of damage profiles with classes that have just unreal amounts of defensives and, like, the defensive bloat. Like there's... You're not even bringing classes for their damage anymore. You're just bringing classes that can happen to live these certain things, which is just ass, right? Like, I think when it gets to that level, I think that's definitely corny. What? But a small majority of a player base are actually doing those keys where it actually matters. A very small. Like I said, if we're talking, like, giga scaling, like, if we're talking keys that one-shot you when the boss yells every 10 seconds, we are actually talking about the 0.1%. Like, literally, the 0.1% of Mythic Plusers are people who are dealing with that. Even less. I like, accidentally got the title a couple seasons after not playing for the last, like, month or two. And that's technically top 0.1%, and I would never even do a key where that's the case, you know? It's like 0.05% or something. But those people are very loud, and they have Twitch streams and a bunch of followers, and that's why the issue seems bigger than it is. But it affects... The way that keys scale close to the key level of 20 currently is something that is experienced by an extremely small amount of people, which is why it is not a huge focus for them. Yeah, but the common player sees those players and thinks that they need that comp to time of 13. No, they don't. They don't think that they need that comp to do anything. There's just some people that are going to make their group, and because of how meta-based gaming is nowadays, when you start your group and you are advertising a key, you don't have to choose anything else. Like, it's not like, oh man, I'm having to wait 10 minutes for the best comp to sign up, so I'm going to have to take this X off meta spec. They just take what's available to them and that they know is good. Because whatever, I don't even know what the fucking meta spec is right now. Is it like what? It's like Aug, Shadow Priest, Mage. Isn't that DPS? And then Vengeance DH and I think Resto Druid, because people keep talking about Mark of the Wild. You may have the impression at like a decently low key that someone would literally wait there 30 minutes for the perfect queue, and there are people like that. But it's more that this, at the same time that all these off meta specs are signing up, someone with just as much and probably higher score because they get invited more person is going to sign up with the correct, like, whatever's considered the correct comp, and they don't have to make the choice. Like if you pay attention to group sizes, if you have one spot left in your group and you already have an Aug and a Mage, right? You could take any other class. But like, if a priest is signed up with everyone else and that priest has just as high score, and because of them getting invited more, probably higher, why wouldn't, if you're just signing up for your key, you want the best chance of success, you would just take that person, right? It's not like they're, it's just how it works. It's how making your own key works. They're all there. Are all the other classes fine? Yes. But there are classes that are perceived or are better, even though the players might not be better, but there's no way to know that, right? Like, you could be like a man of the people, and when you push your key, you never invite meta specs and you bring other people, and you'd be thinking you're making a difference, but it turns out no one really cares. A lot of people just want to play their character, which is, doing Mythic Plus is just, you can play your character. You've already cleared your raid for the week, or your raid's on another raid night. It's not tonight. Oh, wait, 1 second. Hey, buddy. Oh, Reptar doesn't seem like he's doing too well. 1 second. Reptar's whimpering. I'm gonna take him to the vet right now. We learned recently we don't take any chances, so he might be fine, but I'm not fucking with it. Another 15K? He's not big enough to eat a towel. Yeah, but I'll be back in a bit. See you later.